That is our job. The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Sucker punch. That's what Canadians received from this Prime Minister. He promised them low interest rates for long. He said debt was without consequence and that the budget would balance itself. None of those things came true, and interest rates are now 19 times higher than they were a year ago. Wow. The Governor of the Bank of Canada, the former Liberal Finance Minister, countless other experts agree that the Prime Minister's deficits are ballooning inflation and therefore interest rates. Families have to plan their finances. So will he indicate how much will the average family see their monthly mortgage payments go up over the next 3 years? How much?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, while the Bank of Canada continues to do its job to drive down inflation, which is going down, we will continue to do our job to be there to support Canadians who need it, with investments in things like dental care, in a grocery rebate, in supports for low-income renters, and the kinds of things that Conservatives would be cutting instead. Canadians are hurting, and the Conservatives' answer is cuts to programs, cuts to supports for families, cuts to Canadians at a time they need it. Austerity is not the answer, Mr. Speaker. Responsible fiscal approach is. That's exactly what we're doing by supporting Canadians who need it.
Hear, hear. Leader of the Opposition.
Actually, austerity is exactly what Canadians are feeling in their household budgets today, while the government budgets overflow with abundance. Mr. Speaker, there's already been a 16% year-over-year increase in the number of Canadians missing their mortgage payments. After 8 years of this Prime Minister, we have the highest household debt in the entire G7. Household debt is now 7% higher than our entire GDP, Mr. Speaker. And now his inflationary deficits are shooting up interest rates. So how much will the average family have to plan to pay more in mortgage payments per month?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Straight, Mr. Speaker. Canada has the best debt-to-GDP ratio in the G7. We have the lowest deficit in the G7, but the Leader of the Opposition wants us to do far less to support Canadians who need it right now. That's exactly backwards, Mr. Speaker. His pursuit of ideological gains is hurting Canadians. We are going to continue to be there in responsible, targeted ways, keeping our fiscal responsibility at the center of what we do while we support Canadians in targeted, non-inflationary ways. That's what Canadians need right now.
Hear, hear. Well, Leader of the Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, it's not just me anymore pointing out that deficits drive inflation. It's Liberals. It's the former Liberal Finance Minister, John Manley, who said that the Liberal deficits are a bit like driving your car with one foot on the gas and the other on the brake, generally, especially if there's slushy conditions under your tires, end quote. He's pointing out that this Prime Minister presses his foot on the inflationary gas pedal while the Bank of Canada has to press on the brakes. The engine is eventually going to blow. We know Canadians cannot pay their bills. Will the Prime Minister be honest today and tell Canadians how much their mortgage payments will go up because of these rate hikes?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Let's use a specific example of what Ms.
Forward a budget that gives so much help to Canadians, the Conservatives don't even have any questions on it.